Hi, this is Laveena Pinto here with you and welcome back to my channel. And this week it's going to be Mother's Day. So on that view, I decided to make a video dedicated to my mother. Now my mother doesn't watch much of YouTube, but recently she started how to access YouTube and how to watch videos and all that stuff. So I thought this will be one of the things which she can sit and watch her daughter doing something on YouTube while she normally watches others talking and that stuff. But more importantly, this video is special because there are certain things which I learned from my mother, from the way she has brought us up, the way she has handled the situations, the way she has been taking care of the family, standing strong no matter what the situation is. So there is a lot that we have learned from her. We have been her support system now, but then she has been a support system from the time we are born. She has been supporting my father in no matter what steps he has taken, whatever it would be in terms of riches to rags to health to everything, so she sets a very strong example for us when it comes to relationships, when it comes to taking care of the house, when it is coming to responsibilities and a lot more. So basically we have learned a lot of things, and that's when I decided I should make a video from the things that I learned from her. Now this is particularly dedicated to my mom and to fellow mothers who have been always doing a lot more for their kids. And we kids, as we grow up, we realize that how much our parents do for us and how much we miss them. Of course, when they're around us, we don't feel that kind of value, but of course when you move away from their house, that's when you realize that you miss your parents and everything that you do. I did it from the time I landed in Dubai. From that time till now, I keep missing them. I do call them, I do give whatever possible from my side, I stand by them for everything, but still that presence is not there, is sometimes difficult, but having said all that, let's start into the video. Love your spouse. Now if I would say this word in front of my mother about the word love, she would be little embarrassed, or she would feel shy about it, because for her love is all about respect, while love for us at this age is all about maybe giving gifts or going out for dinners. But when it came to my mother, it was different. It was like respecting her husband for whatever he did, was standing by him, supporting him, was all called love. Whenever I see their relationship, I truly believe in relationships, I truly believe in love, because the way they have handled their relationship and stood by each other makes me feel proud about it, and also believe in that that relationships can work, because they've been going through a lot of stuff in their time, there have been fights, there have been financial losses, there have been bad days and everything, but my mother stood by him. Same way my father also did, but my mother was much stronger than my father. So basically, love your spouse and stand by him. Education. My mom was not educated, but she was very clear when it comes to her kids. She wanted to give the best for her kids. So she made sure that we studied in a good school, we had good schooling, and she gave us tuition by herself, though she was not good in English, but she gave us tuitions in her other subjects, like maybe maths or Kannada or other languages that we had. And yes, of course, she always wanted us to study more and more and more, but unfortunately we were not so good students, good kids, to be honest, because me and my sister were not good at studies. Now my brother is also in that same line. So basically education was priority for my mother, because she had not studied, she did not get a chance to study when she wanted to study. So she made sure that she wanted her dreams to be fulfilled by her kids. Appreciating what we have. My mother has seen the most of his days at the initial days of her married life, because my dad was not working. So basically there was no those fancy kind of lifestyle. So it was a joint family, but there were a lot of limitations for everything, whether you're going out or eating some fancy food and all that stuff. So basically my mom has taught us how to appreciate for whatever we have, because we always have to be happy that we had a roof to stay, we had good clothes to wear, we had good food to eat. But always mom believed in one thing, is that that days are going to be rough, but they're not going to stay rough for the rest of their life, they are going to change. So basically learning to appreciate what we have is going to be making us grounded, so that we do not get carried away when things change, or for a better or something like that. Being the support system. Now as I said at the beginning that love your spouse. Now that is very strong. This point goes very strong there. My father wanted to do a lot of things in his life, he wanted to do business, he wanted to start something on his own, invest in this and that and a lot more. But you know what, mom had certain limitations where she couldn't fight for certain things or put her foot down and say, no, you're not going to do this. But she always stood by my father no matter what. Of course, there were a lot of challenges that she has gone through because my dad went into investments and business and all that stuff, which ran into loss. And a lot more days, but she stood by him, and I feel that is one of the confidence my father had somewhere, and he was always happy and proud, or he always told us that, mom has stood by me for every single thing in my life, whatever I wanted to do. So he has always been proud of her. So I think that is one of the best thing which I learned from my mother. And no matter what the situation is, stand by each other, because when someone falls down, you're there to hold him or pick him up or whatever, so I think that is one of the most important thing in relationship which I have learned from her. I'm sure which my sisters also learned from her. Being generous. My mother is very humble person. If you have seen her, she is very sweet, very I can say, she's very those papam kind of ladies you say, like that. She's very ignorant, and which is a blessing actually. She wouldn't be in a competition with anybody no matter what, how people are they are going to dress, if we see somebody dressing like that, we would want to do that. If they bought something nice thing, we also want to buy like that. That is how we are, but my mother is not at all like that. She's so humble actually. She doesn't have any comparison between people. Okay, they are like this kind of people, these are like this, we are not supposed to talk this kind of people. There were nothing like that. She's been very generous when it comes to sharing, giving. She will give from a plate, and she can starve. She even we as kids, we always snatch from a plate if there was some nice food that we liked. And yeah, she's been that kind of person, and I think that is something everybody likes in her. And yeah, savings. She has always taught us one thing, is that save some money. Save no matter what. It might not be necessary to save big money, but even if it is small. And the best thing is that my mother always saved these coins. I think that habit is something that we all carried forward. Even me and my sister, we always do that. We save our coins. Wherever anybody gives us the coins, we don't spend them. We bring and keep in the boxes, and we have a lot of boxes. I'll share some picture here how it looks like. Basically it might not be that we are going to use that money, but they never know what tomorrow is like. Suddenly we need some money and we don't have, we obviously can take from that also. Not only the saving in terms of coins, but of course saving or investing in terms of any kind of thing. She invested her money in every petty things that used to happen in that local villages, in our homeside houses, where they would do all these schemes or the small funds, chit funds. Then even for gold, she would get into the schemes where you go and pay them money and all that stuff. So saving is something that she has been doing from the time I've known her. We have known her. And I think my sister has taken the more of this habit from her. And while I think I went on my father, where I learned more to spend money, yeah, saving is very important. Though she was not earning, whatever dad's money was there, she would whether it would remain from the grocery shopping, or whether he would just keep the money there and just go. Especially coins, my dad would never take coins and go. So that was one of the thing where she saved a good amount of money. Family comes first. Now from my mom's entire journey, if I have to pick one thing and tell that this is my mother, that will be this line, that family comes first. She loves her parents, she loves her brother, she loves her sisters. She's got a very big family, but ultimately her husband, her 3 kids, and I'm sure the pets also, because they love pets equal as they love us maybe, is the entire world for her. She's okay with having nothing but her kids around her and husband around her. She's okay with any kind of situation as long as she knows that we are happy, we are doing good, we are there besides her, we are there to call her, we are there to take care of her. She only prays for things for her kids and for her husband, I feel So for her, let the world be one side and her kids and her husband on one side. I think that's life for her. There's nothing else. I don't think she's wished for gold, diamonds, or big house or something, luxuries or something like that. She is so happy where her husband is. It doesn't matter how it will be. It's different that my father was king size life kind of person, but my mother is equally happy with having anything or without having anything, as long as she's with her kids and her husband and with her pets, obviously. Speak up. Now my mom, this is one thing which she has taught us in her life's journey, basically, that there were times when she wanted to speak on certain things but she couldn't. She wanted to stop my father in many ways, she couldn't, but because that was her nature and she was brought up in such a situation where she couldn't do many things. Now, as her kids, she never wanted us to be like that. Rather, she wanted us to do things what made sense to us, what we wanted to do, not just because others said and we had to do it. Of course, not in all the situations, but of course most of the situations. Like for example, when she was having bad health and she couldn't do certain things of the household works and that stuff, she was not in a state to tell that she needed some help from somebody. Rather, in those health conditions also, she ended up doing the household works. So basically, these are the little things which she feels that her kids should not be going through all that. So this is one of the learning for everybody, that you need to speak up at situations when it is needed. Of course, not necessarily you speak up for all the situations and create a mess and then people won't value or respect you, but of course most of the times I think we can do it. No one is perfect, and my mom accepted this line, I think maybe in her childhood, and that's when she has been like this. Basically, she never thought that her kids have to be perfect in doing this, they should be achieving gold medals, they should be having always high number of marks or something like that. They always, for that matter, even my father believed in the same thing. They always believe that okay, perfection is not something they want. They want their kids to be healthy, smart enough so that they can survive in this world, where they can battle out themselves and live in a world where it was not so easy to live, like so where they can be independent and all that stuff. So basically, my mom had accepted the wordings that no one is perfect, there is no perfect relationships, there is no perfect person, there's nothing called perfect, but how you live it makes it, whether it's going to be perfect or imperfect. So taking those small steps, learning, respecting people, and doing all these things, whatever she's been doing, has taught us has made us where we are and who we are. They have given us enough independence to do and choose what we want, stay the way we like. So I think yes. Apart from whatever points I said, there are a lot of things which my mother has been for us, who has taught us a lot of things. My mother did not complain much of the time, nor about the situations that we were in, nor about the financial conditions, or nor about her husband. You don't see her talking about her husband any point of time in a bad sense, she always stood by him, supported him. She always supports us. We do mistakes, I have done many mistakes, and she's always not judged me. Of course, they have shouted at me and all that stuff, but yes, they have stood by me. Now, having said all this, my mom has had a very minimalistic living, I can say. Basically, she could be happy with having many things or not having with also. She's been the same, has gone through a lot of financial challenges, almost half of a year since she's married my dad, and yes, but she has been happy in everything that has come her way, and the way she has lived her life. Of course, there may be regrets with her that she could have done it in a better way or something like that, but she has always had a smiling face for everyone that came to her. Now, having said all this, she has been also doing a lot of things, trying to do things, learn things, trying to understand or be with the trend. Like for example, trying to learn English, trying to speak with people who, she's very shy person. So having said all this, there are a lot of things which a mother does. My mother has done that for us. So I'm always proud that that we could learn a lot of things rather than having that fancy kind of life. Of course, we always wanted different life from what we had maybe, but whatever we lived, when we look back, we are proud of it. So having said all this, it's a very happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and this special video is for my mother. I know it did take time for me to write down the points and everything, but believe me, most of the points are just spoken just like that, because it just came, because it's based on my life's experience again. So, and I know my mother so well, so it is very easy for me to talk. And yeah, I hope you will like this video, something different from the normal videos that I share. And if you did like it, do let me know what you think about it. And if you have something to share about your mother, you're most welcome to share it in the comments below. And do not forget to like, share and comment. And this is Laveena signing off. Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the world. And this one is also for my mother-in-law. Happy Mother's Day.